person talk, them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk, say, make we no talk. But thank God, say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun the command of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not dey off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha. Now him una don hear all these bad politicians dem wey call themselves politicians wey dey thief our money, wey no want make the common man get wetin him suppose get for this country. Una never hear something, na go hear one. Mayegun, you go show una pepper. Mayegun diary political.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làwọn tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wá.
Thank you so much for joining me as usual. And you know what to do. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. And just tell them that Mayegun today, like the broadcast, read the caption, read the description, sit back, relax, and then you can contribute. Share this broadcast.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Wonder shall never end.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ekweremadu jailed in the UK.
Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube.
Al-Azan Doguwa, the murderer, is about to be the speaker and number 4th man in Nigeria. See life.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Ayé ẹ̀sùn
Share this broadcast.
tí ń rúfin o. Ayé ẹ̀sùn láti. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Ayé ẹ̀sùn láti. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn láti. Ayé ẹ̀sùn láti.
And thank you. Good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live. I bet a lot of you have been following the news. The just in Ekweremadu jailed 10 years. Ekweremadu's wife jailed 6 years. Ekweremadu's doctor jailed for 10.5 years. not in Nigeria. In United Kingdom, it is news in Nigeria, and the reactions are, as expected, mixed. So tonight, I may kind of be able to, right, when I start my presentation, I may be able to represent what you feel about that news in the long run. There are people who feel like that is so justified. If it was in Nigeria, they will still be doing investigation. In fact, they will be investigating the victim that reported a senator. Others said, no, that's overkill. He never committed any crime per se. He hasn't removed anybody's kidney. UK is just playing to the gallery. It is an overkill to send him to jail when all he was doing was just was trying to save his daughter. So reactions vary. But tonight, our emotion, our reactions, no matter how much justified you feel like, no matter the side of the coin, the emotion is taking you to. I am not here to judge what you feel. I am actually here to relate this experience with what is missing in Nigeria, normalizing the abnormalities. So tonight, I will do my best, as usual, to make you see whatever you would like to see at the end of the day. However, justice. So we're going to talk about that. Then there is a comparison analysis. I've been waiting the column. Because what they jailed Ekweremadu for in the UK is a crime that people go to jail for. In Nigeria, it's not really a crime. It's a crime of love, crime of fatherly care, and all other bad dash that they have actually spilled out there to whip sentiments. But listen to me with clearer mind. Listen to me with an open mind, because you might be learning one or two things that possibly could help in setting your mind straight on what is right. And when you begin to kind of know what is right, accept what is right, well, what is next? You will reject everything that is wrong. Most of them that a lot of us just justify. Depends on the mood we are. What they are jailing Ekweremadu for in the UK, in Nigeria, it will be celebrated. You know why? The current deputy speaker of Nigeria House of Representatives is from Kano State. Okay. In the just concluded elections or charade, this guy killed 15 people, including women, because they won't vote for him. He killed them, they dumped their bodies in a building, and they set the whole house ablaze. He was arrested for murder. It was so huge that he didn't send people to do it. He did it himself by leading other member of his mob to that community. I'll show you the picture. That guy got bail in Nigeria. He got declared the winner of the election that he killed 15 people for. Right? Still very fresh. The guy is currently on the run of becoming the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Nigeria. So do you see the irony? Ekweremadu in London, in jail. Doguwa, a murderer, is likely going to be flying one of those your presidential jets for the Speaker of House of Representatives. Well, is currently flying one anyway, is the deputy speaker next to Gbajabiamule. So, before we actually delve into Ekweremadu's story, where there is possible one lesson or two to learn, I would like to call your attention to one or two things that are already brewing so that you don't wake up tomorrow and begin to act surprised. Please don't be. Currently, the House of Representatives in Nigeria National Assembly, they are currently working on a bill that is going to criminalize public protests. So, before now, they said if you want to protest in Nigeria, you must get their permission. There is no law that backs that. In fact, it is illegal for them to stop you from protesting. But under Bukwari, it became illegal, but it is not illegal in your law. But this time around, they are about to change that law into criminalizing protest or unapproved gathering, because they sense that there will be so many of such in the coming weeks and months. So if you are caught and arrested for protesting in Nigeria, you may go to jail up to 20 years in jail. Do you understand? It doesn't matter what you did, even if you didn't do anything and all that. If you are caught, if you are caught anywhere and they said you are arrested for protesting, the bill is to send you to jail for like 10 to 20 years. The 20 years part is that if that protest lead to a violence and police kill people, you will be blamed. All of you arrested for that protest will be blamed for whoever died, whoever the police kill or the soldiers kill during protest. So that bill is currently there. You remember the hate speech bill? Social media bill. The ones that if you say something that the people in government don't like, it is called hate speech. Now 10 years. First time you pay 500,000 naira. So second time, if you are arrested for posting something on social media that the Ministry of Information in Nigeria did not approve, you pay 500,000 naira fine, or you go to jail for 14 years. Do you understand that? Do you know that there is a bill like that we actually dragged for years until it became so almost dead? You remember the grazing bill, open grazing bill, hate speech bill, social media bill. The hate speech is before you post anything. For example, if you want to say, hey, the government of Nigeria said they spent $1.2 million to evacuate Nigerians from Egypt. These people are thieves, so where is the money? For posting that, before you post that on social media, you would have to send it to the Ministry of Information in Nigeria that I want to post this thing. Is it okay to post it? So if they say no, you should never post. So if you post it, if you post anything, and they believe that that thing is to criticize the government, it will be called hate speech against the government. So by so doing, the government will then arrest you. Okay? Here is the funniest part of the bill. For some of you probably have forgotten how ridiculous these people are. Yeah? In part of the bill, the funniest part of it is that you cannot sue them. Do you understand? You cannot sue the government for arresting you or breaching your fundamental human rights. You can't. So before you can sue the government or anybody working for government in Nigeria, you will first write a letter. You will write a letter to the Ministry of Information. You will write one. And then when you write the letter to the Ministry of Information, you will tell them, please, Ministry of Information, I am very, very angry and I want to sue the government because of the detention. You know what I mean? Or because of what happened, you can't. So until they until they approve. They will have to grant you the approval. Okay, go ahead and sue us. That is when you can then sue the government. It's so ridiculous, right? That they sat down and they drafted that and they pushed it. First reading, second reading, third reading. Now they wanted to debate on it. It got to a debating stage, debating to vote yes or no. And what happened? It got shut down, of course. It got shut down. And this time around, in that same Nigeria, they are now pushing for that anti-protest bill that will jail you if you protest and without any appeal. Okay, so I thought I should tell you. There are more, but let's come back to the real issue. So to everyone who is just joining us, this is Mayegun Live, and I believe you must have taken your time to read the caption of this broadcast, the description as well, right? The purpose of this conversation is just the irony of what Nigeria represents and what Nigeria is to the rest of the world, and also how some Nigerians actually see themselves and how they see the rest of the world, and also how the rest of the world see them. You see, there are different lenses from which Nigerians are made to see the world. I think I'm going to start from there. As usual, let's make it a little bit, educational and elaborative now. An average Nigerian, right, believe very strongly on so many superstitious, mysterious nonsense from those who are supposed to be responsible for keeping the law and order and developing a country, including our people. So a lot of people have created different myths for those who are leading them. A lot of them also have created this bogus myth. For example, these are also things they have heard from their own supposed criminal leaders. The myth of Nigeria is so rich. Nigeria is so big. Nigeria, as the giant of Africa, the only problem Nigeria have is just the bad leaders. But with prayers, with fasting and prayer, with all of that, then, Nigeria will get it right one day. The world view is that the whole world there are some myopic morons, okay, who believe that the reason why Nigeria, I'm talking about those one Nigerians now, the reason why Nigeria is not developing, the reason why Nigerians continue to live under oppression is simply because the rest of the world, they are so afraid that immediately Nigeria gets it right. Last song, once Nigeria gets it right, America or the rest of the world, they are going to be running after Nigeria. There is some myopic belief among Nigerians. Not until some of us who actually have to take ourselves out of that bucket, out of that ignorant basket, then we discovered that majority of this myth, they are coming from the creation of the criminals who have been in charge of Nigeria, including their minions who are handling other organs and agencies of whatever of government that are spreading different kind of fear. Fears like you can never, there's nothing you can do. You can never fight these people because they have everything. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me bring it down a bit for you. Nigerians know that they love their criminals differently. One of the reasons why Nigeria is what Nigeria is because there is an impression, right, that Nigeria is turn by turn. Okay? So whatever is going on, whoever has a chance is their turn. And this turn by turn means different things to different people. To some, it is the religion of those they wanted to be in charge of governance, that attracted them to them. Some is because of their tribe. Others is because of what they are going to benefit and gain directly from them, not majorly the general benefit that should go to everyone. No. So all of these are why, if any of those they love is facing any criminal charges, money laundering, rape, anything, any criminal charges, politically, Nigerians who are attracted to them either by tribe, by religion, by region, or what have you, they will be like naturally wanted to become defensive of that person, not because they are actually like benefiting, so to say, but is coming from their tribe or is of the same religion. All this kind of sentiment, right, makes it impossible for Nigerians who are victims of bad governance. The bad governance doesn't spare. The bad governance in Nigeria has never spared anybody because of their religion. It hasn't spared anybody because of their tribe. It hasn't spared anybody because of where they come from, their religion, their region, or whatever other sentiments that Nigerians always pull up. Because according to them, whatever worse you are seeing in this person, don't see him as this Nigeria politicians who is corrupt. The moment you begin to point fingers, they'll begin to tell you, is he the first person? Or is it because he's a Yoruba man? Is he the first person that will first steal money? Or is it because he's a Muslim? Why are you all so angry, like he's the first person to order the killings of people? She so person think, is it because he's from this southwest, or is it because he's an Igbo man? You know, that kind of sentiment, it's always come to play. So therefore, people fight over those sundry things in defense of their criminal politicians from their different parts of Nigeria. Now, what really matter? What should really matter? Things like, children education there, improve the economy where you have more jobs, well, good paying jobs for young people, yeah, where you have improved healthcare, affordable, accessible healthcare for everyone, no matter your background, things that affect them directly, whereby, the value, quality of life that will make you think, wow, why would I want to live elsewhere? Why would I want to leave this country? Things that actually connect you, that should make them feel more concerned. Regular electricity, safe and then, secured environment. All of these things that continued to keep them poorer, suppressed, brutalized, abused. And those who are, they that are the victims, they come from all the tribes in Nigeria. They come from all the religion in Nigeria. They come from all the regions in Nigeria. All of them are victims, but what keeps them divided? Because they love their oppressors differently. Sure you get. So if not, what they normally regularize, precedents like this, where even if it's just for one, equality before the law. Equality before the law simply means everyone is equal before that law. Here you get. Whether you are the highest, the high and mighty, or you are the lowest. If you run foul of the law, there are some of them that ordinarily you will say is the privilege of the elite. But there are many, many of them that should at least be public officials. Okay, let me take that back. Let me take that again. Before I go deeper, where did they go there? So I was talking about Nigerians loving their oppressors. Therefore, they couldn't make up their minds on what really, really should unite them, which is the failed government that doesn't recognize you whether you are Fulani or Hausa, doesn't recognize you whether you are a Muslim or a Christian, you are Igbo or Yoruba, whatever. All those narratives are just there to keep you apart. But keeping you apart then means they can get away with anything. They can compromise your electoral system and there will be no consequences. Sure, you get. Normally, if people have been like sentenced to life imprisonment for participating in electoral fraud is worse than bank robbery. Do you know that? When armed robbers go into a bank and they start robbing a bank to steal money, stealing that your paper, that election, stealing that your vote is worse than that, because the worst thing about stealing election is that it will get horrible people in who don't give a damn about you. Crime will increase. Crime will increase everywhere. And when crime increases, lives will be in danger. People will die for that singular robbery. Generations, the life of generations can be ruined simply because somebody changed the figure and they now have a chance to make decisions for millions of people. So when you look at armed robbers, if you look at the way security or police respond to armed robberies in banks, you see the way they are like they're ready for war. That's exactly what they should be doing, protecting your vote. But in Nigeria, rigging is normal. Buying vote, buying people is normal. Electoral officers will be paid millions, hundreds of millions of naira in their bank account, their family members' bank account. Nobody is investigating anything. You will see open rigging. Nobody is being prosecuted for that. They are waiting for the next one. So nobody is punished. So everybody wants to improve on the crime because they didn't see it as a crime. They said it's a game. It's a strategy. Forgetting the fact that your lives, your businesses, your everything is attached to it. Since they don't see it as a crime, politicians believe they can do anything and get away with it. Even when some of them claim to be lawyers. Lawyers, people who are making laws that all of you, everybody must follow. You will think they know more about your laws. Remember when you are talking, in Nigeria, this is how ridiculous it is. So there is no law that is not in Nigeria. Nothing. You see all these gay rights, LGBT, what have you, they have a law in Nigeria against it. If anybody writes up tomorrow, we are going to make law about it, is just wasting. It's just like, the usual show off. No crime on this earth. There are some crimes, they've never committed them in Nigeria. If you do go to Nigeria and commit those crimes, you will see that they have laws for them. But the problem is because you cannot expect criminals to implement laws that will put them in jail. How do you do that? So it's the same thing. In Nigeria, people who are supposed to be lawmakers, they are multi-billionaires. How? An average lawmaker, House of Representative member in Nigeria, by their law, is paid 750,000 naira. 750,000. 750,000 naira. That is less than 1,000. Okay, let's say that is $1,000. But in their crooked way, they now decided to put up a payment package that now runs into tens of millions of naira. For example, if it's to be paid $1,000 a month, what is 500% of $1,000? That's $5,000. So he will be paid $5,000 for his wardrobe. He made law and he said he must be paid 1,000% of his basic salary. So if it's for his cars, to buy car. So if his basic salary is $1,000, and they said he should be paid 1,000% of that to buy car. Officially, is that not official still in Abi? So $1,000 is like $10,000. They will give him $10,000. That's $15,000 though. They will say, okay, for his newspaper, reading newspaper, they should give him 20%, 200% of his basic salary. That is $2,000. They had it. Remember, he was supposed to be paid $1,000 for his work. From there, he should find his way to work, to come and write law and make laws. By the time they finish the whole package, a single senator is taking home over 30 million naira. As if that is not enough. They turn to hustlers in the National Assembly. They turn to anti-people in the place. They turn to businessmen. They are billionaires. So whenever there is time for the executive to bring the bill, which they call the appropriation bill, the national budget, it's going to be business for them. There is something called budget padding. Lawmakers who are making laws that will send you to jail if you break them. So right there in that chamber where they are making the bogus laws, they are padding the budget of the whole country. Wherever they plan to spend, to spend 100 naira on a single item, and the executives say, and their own ministry, who are also thieves, so those ones have already padded the whole thing before they brought it to them. And they say, okay, after their own stealing, they will buy this thing for 10 naira. By the time you get to the National Assembly, they will add 8 naira to it. They don't care how much those ones have added to the number. They don't give a damn. By the time you now find out, this thing they want to buy for 18 naira per one. The original price is 1 naira 50 kobo. So something that costs 1 naira 50 kobo, they will budget 18 naira for it. They need 100 of this. So instead of it to just be 150 naira for 100 of this, remember they've inflated it. Now from 180, what do you call it? It will turn to 1,800 pieces. So at the end of the day, where they were supposed to spend 150 naira, they will be spending more than 18,000 naira, and you'll be wondering how they will share the money. And it happens to almost everything in there. And every year, Nigeria don't get money. They will quickly approve loan for Buhari to go and borrow money, so that once Buhari borrowed the money and they start disbursing the money, more than 900% of the money goes straight into their own personal pockets until the following year, because they could get away with it. These are big guys who are buying properties. Home and abroad. Okay? These are guys who are like almost everywhere all over the globe. Some of them are even buying private jets. Lawmakers, they buy private jets. They will buy the private jets. They will give the private jets to some airline. What do you call them? This PJ Air company in Nigeria. Have you not noticed the last 8 years? You have luxurious private jets for hire companies in Nigeria more than ever. You didn't ask yourself, because most of those private jets are owned by lawmakers where they collect $1,000 salary. These are multi-billionaires. So if they kill people in Nigeria, if they belong to the right place, nothing they happen. If not, in June 2022, Ekweremadu decided to embark on a journey that was perfected in a Nigerian way. The journey was, we need somebody to donate their kidney for our daughter, Sonia, who needed that. You know what I mean? So, first thing first, this person has been in government since 1999. Which means for him to be getting re-elected, he must be doing something so good for the people, his own people. I mean, that's the expectation, isn't it? Leave rigging, leave all of that. I mean, there should be some relationship whereby either by the developmental contribution, his goodwill and good gesture. What about his family members? Somebody like that, politicians in Nigeria, they have large families. And that's why they have to steal more money. They have large families to fix up. There are family members that have benefited from Ekweremadu's political career since 1999. So if you now have to package something as a lawyer that you know that at this point, I want to take care of my daughter. Now, here is me not trying to say, why didn't he build a hospital? Some of you are asking for that. No, I'm not going to ask that. Many people have asked of that, and it doesn't kind of count now, okay? Let's say in Nigeria, that which he has been part of the government, he is a lawyer, whereby now he had intention of taking his daughter, who lives in the UK anyway. His daughter lives here. So for whatever reason, they must have known what they needed and the procedure of getting their daughter a kidney transplant, a donor. So initially they said they were on the queue, on the list, but it's taking far too long. So they decided to bring a family member. So Ekweremadu, coming from the background of a country, is part of those who misruled. A country where he was once a Senate president of deputy Senate president. Yeah. Now, knowing the law and he himself being a lawyer, his family living in the UK, possibly they've had contact very much. What do you call it? They've had a lot of contact with the NHS before they finally decided that they needed a donor. They knew then that in the UK, you cannot donate any part of your body to any other person because they want to give you monetary reward. You can't do that. Do you get that? So somebody who has been probably going in and out of hospital, seeking counseling and maybe advices, medical, all that kind of things, rich people, rich people stuff. Before everything now got to, we need somebody. They would have known all of that, Abi. Okay, now fast forward. June 2022. Ekweremadu, in the Nigerian way, wrote before June. In April 2022, Ekweremadu, from his goodwill to his people in Enugu, no single member of his family stood up to be tested if they were in any way compatible with Sonia's kidney transplant or something. No family member. That should tell you something. One, I'm coming back to that too. Nobody within his own political family, like the PDP family, who should be kind of have benefited or closer to the Ekweremadus to have come up with something for someone, a donor, without monetary reward. Ekweremadu's lawyer, let me see if I still have that face. Ekweremadu's lawyer, the guy on the right, who also is a medical practitioner, ordinarily should also know this too, that you cannot donate your organ to anyone if they promise you money. Now, I hope you are following this. So all of these people, in their efforts, parental love, mother love, father love, which everyone is now coming back to, we didn't know. No, they did know. Because when you live so comfortably well in a lawless country, where you can get away with anything, and even if you run into any trouble, you can get out of it like that. In Nigeria, sometimes you get so carried away that you don't even know you are committing you don't even know what you are doing is a crime. Ekweremadu, the reason why Ekweremadu ended up in jail is this. Ekweremadu now went to a poor woman in Enugu and promised her that if her son, who is still young, could donate his kidney for their daughter, he would take care of him and take care of the mother, whatever. So that was the genesis. When they found the young man, they decided to start building travel documents for him. That was where the crime started. So Ekweremadu using his own office as a senior politician in Nigerian National Assembly, as usual, they put all documents together, including falsifying the age of the young man, just to get him out of Nigeria. On their document, they gave him the age of, I think, 21. Okay? But when the young man got to the UK, he first told them that, okay, I'm coming back to when he got to the UK, so then let us jump the gun. Ekweremadu used the letter-headed paper of his own office to secure visa, UK visa, for the young boy. And then the plan of taking him to the UK, take out his kidney, and then the operation is done, and the family will be settled. The journey was set. But the young man got to the UK. Somehow, they figured out that the young man was not compatible with Sonia's. But during interrogation, they discovered that the young man has been promised money, and his poor mother was even given money before they got him this. The young man now said it was the Senate president who got him all his travel documents, and they promised to make his life better after. So the doctors there now felt concerned. At that point, they are bringing in somebody who didn't consent, somebody who didn't go through the proper procedure and counseling and all that to know what he was actually coming to do. So when the young man left, the conversation then was that they are going to return him to Nigeria. It's now that it's useless, it's not useful. Now, when the young boy who grew up in Nigeria, now in the UK, you will send me back to Nigeria, to that Nigeria, he decided to report himself at a nearby police station. Before then, they said they abandoned him in a house, and I understand what that means. When they brought him from Nigeria, they put him in a flat. So they were taking care of him, giving him everything he wanted, until the day they discovered that he's useless, it's not useful to them. So they abandoned him. So they were just waiting for the day they were going to return him back to Nigeria. So Omo Ogbon, he just walked straight into a police station and reported what was going on. And he said, if he returned to Nigeria, they will kill him, because the secret of what happened between himself and the Ekweremadu family, they will wipe out all his entire family. Remember, the hospital was already concerned about that development. They've made a report. So when the policemen got that same report from the young man, they raised his situation to higher kind of alerts. So at that point, they started waiting for Ekweremadu to come to the UK. Remember, this was like before Ekweremadu entered UK. So give me a sec. I'm having a blinking screen. There. Give me a moment. Let's see if I can fix that, because the background story is very, very important. Sure you get now. Because we know some of the people who are like, not paid you, or they have mental problem. Typical Nigerians. In order to whip different kind of sentiments and make you feel this or that, don't waste your energy on them. Different lies, different stories, and the rest, just to whitewash Ekweremadu. So Ekweremadu didn't know, the Ekweremadus didn't know that the young man was no longer in the flat, because they were not really checking on him. They didn't know that the police were waiting for them already. They didn't know there was an arrest warrant on them. They didn't know, because they were not in the UK. Sure you get. So the day they were going to make the arrest was when Ekweremadu was coming to the UK to take Sonia and fly straight away out of UK and go straight to Turkey. Because remember, the young man is useless. They don't need him anymore. So they found an alternative in Turkey. So it was for Ekweremadu to come here with his wife, pick Sonia, and fly straight to Turkey when Ekweremadu got arrested at Heathrow. When they landed, that was when the news broke. Ekweremadu arrested in London. Now true, now lie, now true, now lie. In our false, now this, he was arrested for organ trafficking, human trafficking. Waiting, no, not, long story short, that was the beginning of Ekweremadu's journey to jail. Now, every other conspiracy theory that you might have heard out there that you have been fed in the last 1 year, I understand. You're going to hear more. Because I was alive when James Ibori, the former governor of Delta State, was arrested here in London. It broke like a news that was like impossible. They will use power. They will do this. James Ibori spent 6 years in jail. And immediately he served his jail term. He returned back to Nigeria, never to come back to the UK again. So when the journey of Ekweremadu started, in the UK, there are some certain crimes that you don't get bail for. Human trafficking human beings for sex or for slave or to harvest their organ or whatever you are into. If you cross the path of the United Kingdom, they go anywhere again. I promise you that, at least not for a long time. If you are a terrorist, wanted terrorist, or somebody who is very active in the act of terrorism, or you are appointed anywhere, no pass UK, don't even live here. No matter how much you think, say you crazy or mad, the day they will grab you, you are not going anywhere anymore after that. Now, that is the UK. Now, for the Nigerian politicians who are bringing their money to the UK, you will think, then why is the UK taking their money? Because UK need their money. What UK does all the time, United Kingdom, what United Kingdom have been doing from time immemorial, is to take whatever they can take from you. Even all of us where they live in the UK, they are ready to take just anything they can take from us. Do you understand that? So which means, even from the time of slavery, colonialism, did you think they colonized Africa or colonized us because they loved us? Do you think they taught us English, how to read and write, like you can see, because they love us? No. Do you think the UK mission in Nigeria is because they love Nigeria? Come on. It's always like that. Bring whatever you can bring here. As long as you won't take them back, you are welcome. And anything that will make you never to take them back is what they will do. But when the business is still going, you are welcome. That's why it's so wrong for some of us who are thinking, UK, come and help us. So, United States, come and do something. President Joe Biden, President Kufra, and the rest of whatever you are calling on all these places. From time immemorial, Africa is like a graveyard. They are the orcs. All those vultures. They are like the vultures. Once they fly down there, they are going to be looking for the carcass there. But us, where they live in that graveyard, are we by any means doing everything or doing anything at all, to turn the graveyard to Greenland? No, we are still very much busy doing everything to killing ourselves. So, Ekweremadu entered London. Like play, Ekweremadu get mock shots. You see this, where is that one? Oh, I don't get that one again. I don't get them. The mock shots of Ekweremadu in jail. At first, they sent delegates or delegation from Nigeria to come and show solidarity to one of them. And so they did as well today, when they also sent some delegation to show support. Unfortunately, like I said, I remember James Ibori. James Ibori ended up in that jail, completed his 6 years, and he returned back to Nigeria. In the case of Emefiele, why am I saying Emefiele? Abi Ekweremadu. I will have something to say about Emefiele anyway. That's why I'm still coming to that. So the news now broke out today that the Old Bailey has convicted Nigeria senator, not for money laundering, not for corruption, but for organ trafficking, human trafficking. He never kill anybody, oh. As Nigeria will say, oh, Nigeria will say, but say he kill somebody, they say me go 10 years. That judge, you know, get picking. He say that judge no get daughter. This thing can happen to anybody. Okay, take a look at it this way. The child of a poor woman, who happened to be, she happened to be a widow. The young man, just like so many of you, the ass lickers, crumb eaters, crumb chasers, all risers in Nigeria, who are all over the agberos, who are all over your politicians. A majority of you are doing everything to get out of poverty. Abi? I have seen many times where people have said it on social media because of the level of poverty in Nigeria. You will see young people, 19 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, young people. They will be Googling how much is a kidney? If I sell my kidney, can another one grow back? How long can I live if I sell my esophagus? No, don't sell your esophagus, so you are dead if you sell your esophagus. Doesn't I hear esophagus today? Something like that. They will say, oh, Baba, see, they say if you are, I mean, somebody will be like, Baba, instead of you to be smoking to die young, why you no kuku sell your kidney to make money and enjoy the money? That's how much people are willing and ready to go to get out of poverty. Here you get. And a lot of you think it's a joke, you joke about it, you kind of, you know what I mean? But young people who are the most victims of poverty in Nigeria, I've given you that number before. When they tell you that over 60% of Nigerians are going to be living in abject poverty, they are living in multi-dimensional poverty. A lot of you think that a lot of people are just adults, we no get job. Children, young people, they were born into poverty, and all they know is poverty. Now it has turned to multi-dimensional poverty. That number, the disabled number of people living in poverty in Nigeria are mostly young people. And if you go out there today, you can tell that too. They want to do anything. They want to anything, just to according to them, once they have money, they are out of poverty. Money, anything. The other day they said somebody go sell man. Still talking about what poverty and the expansion of poverty that APC Ekweremadu represent. 5 years ago, I covered the story of a woman, who has she has 4 children, and one is quite grown. The other 2 are like between the ages of, let's say, 7 and 11. Not kind of, Then a little girl, who is the 4th, that was somewhere around about 2 years old. So the story broke that in Oshogbo, a woman left her daughter. Sorry, a woman left her son, rather, which happened to be the 2nd child. She left her child at a Gari store in Oshogbo. She came from another town far away from the state capital of Osun. She traveled with her child on, those Bole Kaja, no, not Bole Kaja, this pickup, pong pickup that always carry people from the farm. She said, when they finally found her, they traveled from her village to the state capital of Osun. And she walked straight into a shop and told them, can I get 1 rubber of gari? Can I get 1 rubber of rice? Then she pretended to have forgotten her purse at another shop. So she told the people there and said, so she got the gari, she didn't get the rice. So she said, sorry, madam, I forgot my wallet. See, I'll ask my son to stay here while I go and bring the wallet. In fact, you know what? I'll take this Gary since I'm buying two, right? Gary and rice. When I come back and pay you, I can take my son and the other bag. And they say, oh, that's fine, madam, no problem. Hey, you come and sit down here. She left her son in that shop and traveled back to their village. When it was closing time, that was when the shop owner was like, help me, oh. She raised alarm. I don't know what is going on. Oh. A woman came here with her son, and here we are, I don't know, So, but because the little boy at least remember where they come from, their hometown, so they entered a cab straight to the town. When they got to the place, they saw the woman and 3 of her children. They were drinking Gary in a big bowl. So when everybody walked in, it was the same bag of Gary and all of that she brought in. I said, how could you do this, you, a woman? How could you leave your child in far away Oshogbo? You don't even care what will happen to him. And she said, I'm very sorry. That was the only way I could feed these children. I took the risk, I know. But in my head, I knew that, number one, you will give the little boy food while he was waiting there for me. And he could talk, so he can talk. He will tell you where we come from. That was our own idea of feeding that day or possibly that week. I covered that story then. But I just read another one just a few days ago where a man was caught. And they asked him, why did you sell your kids? He sold his 2 kids, 2 children. I think it's somewhere in Abeokuta or so. 2 children for 44,000 naira, 22,000 naira per child. Just to have some money to feed other children. People are willing to sell their children. So now, giving you this background, you will understand why the poor were the target, or the poor is the target of Ekweremadu and his people. Not the children of the rich, not children of their own friends. The children of their friends that they always give gifts to, that have benefited from them and the rest. None of them actually volunteer their children. It is a child of a poor woman who probably felt like that's their prayer answered. And you go to the UK, they can't say, they're useful again. They will need to take you back to Nigeria. And you know what that means? That is your dream dead. Meanwhile, if it worked, they will remove the young man's kidney and shorten his life. And afterward, maybe, and they said he's going to need, if you donate your kidney, all of you, whether they tell you, say, maybe you go sell your kidney. If you sell your kidney, they grow back same way they are making you believe that they grow back like that. So you are going to need medical treatment for the rest of your life till you die. Sure, you understand what that means? Right now only food get, Abi. They won't give you 10 million. They will give you 20 million. They will give you 30 million. You are deceiving your friends, drugging your friends, taking them to secret locations where they are secretly removing their organ. That's another story, by the way. For some of you who are like, which one are you saying, Mayegun? Of course now. In the way people are looking for money in Nigeria now, young people are deceiving their girlfriends, their close pals. They will drug them, deceive them and drug them, take them somewhere. When they wake up, they will just see scar in their chest. They've removed one of their organs. These people, when they tell you that it grows back, not be so it's just a grow back. For the rest of your life, you are going to need medical checkup, medical treatment, because anything can go wrong anytime. Where you go get money, where you go they take pay for all those. So they didn't probably tell the old woman, the poor woman. They just promised her she was going to be okay. She's going to be out of poverty. Now God have answered her prayer. Her child was going abroad. All of these were new to the young man when they started explaining to him, do you know what you are about to do? Do you understand what you want to do? Do you this and that? The young man panicked. And the Nigerian hustler mentality, like their leaders, entered. And he quickly reported them. Everybody just. But people are saying, Ekweremadu never kill people. They don't send them to 10 years. What about Doguwa? So let's go back to Nigeria now. Why some people are thinking sending him to jail like this is overkill. He's just trying to save his daughter. And he could still save his daughter without having to take the life of the poor man. He's a lawyer. Somebody is a lawyer. He's a lawmaker. Ordinarily, he should know that. Even you, where they watch me right now. Yeah? You can't just say, because some of you are like, Sonia, this boy is ungrateful. I am ready to give you my kidney. I'm not sorry for you. Sure you get. But there are procedures that will finally say you are compatible. You are that person. Sure you get. So they know all of this. And they chose UK to come and try that illegality. What they tried here is that they try and tested the UK law. And UK doesn't really joke with that. I can promise you that. So with Gbajabiamila's plea and all that, he will go to jail for 10 years. Now 9 years, 8 months remain. No, sorry. 8 years, hang on. 9 years, 1 month remain. So the next time you are going to see Ekweremadu in Nigeria is going to be 2033. I know a lot of you are already saying, God can free him. Calm down. No, I told you to listen to this with open mind. Sure you get. I'm not disputing if